Happy to say that Jijali initiative is actually a continuation of what we were discussing with Bwana Mengo in studio, and I'm joined by Christine Mudhoni and Lorna Kanyuga. She's a project manager at Jijali Initiative, as I told you earlier, a program that funds and, of course, kind of catapults starting careers, which is a very good thing. Young people are struggling out here, and trust me, when you get that support, it means now you'll actually be hopeful of a successful life and, of course, successful career. Good morning.
Good morning.
Lorna and Christine.
Yes.
Good to see you today.
So good to see you too.
All right, so I'll start with you, Lorna. Jijali Initiative, just for the sake of viewers who watch right now, what are you guys all about?
So basically, Jijali is a learning program, and what we do is we provide young people with the skills that they need to start their career or their business. So what we provide is an online skills training in career and entrepreneurship, and it's very practical and personalized. So our goal is to equip you with skills, and the only way to do that is to make the learning as practical as possible. So that means that what you do is very activity based, that you'll be doing every week. You have some things that you're doing where you can actually see real changes in your career and business. And on top of that, in the program, you'll be partnered with a mentor who provides support and guidance and motivation during the program. Okay,
so Christine, so many things are happening out here, and just let's revolve again around young people. These are the people who are going through a lot of depression, stress, suicidal missions out, suicidal thoughts. It's unfortunate because such opportunities, they don't get such. Now, Jijali, you know, the word itself, Jijali initiative, you take care of yourself, be mindful of yourself. It's a good thing, but look at the statistics. I'll come back to it again. 74% unemployed right now. And you see, once someone is kind of empowered as far as our career is concerned, especially the culture, it's a good thing. But how do you guys now turn all this around to make sure there's some consistency? You know, we're having people, I'll say, I'll school you people from Form 1 to Form 4, then they vanish in Form 2 second term. You know what I mean? So it's kind of very tricky. So how do you manage to now just provide that consistency to make sure this person is successful?
So, well, the most important thing that she mentioned is the mentorship, which is provided to each and every individual. And you see, with the mentorship, it's weekly based, and you get like a call from your mentor. He takes you through, or he guides you, and he kind of helps you through the whole program. So you'll see there's a time you feel like, I don't feel like going through with the course. He'll call you up and try and show you how to manage your time so that you create time for the program or maybe the training.
Wow, interesting.
If I may add on that.
Sure.
Also, so here's now, I believe the importance of making it practical, because it means that you'll start changing your behavior. So the way we structure the progress of our learners is in 3 aspects. So we have knowledge, attitude, and behavior. So knowledge is great. We all have knowledge. But real change starts happening when your attitude and your behavior starts to change. So that's the purpose of the program. And as she mentioned earlier, with the mentor, it's not only even about support, it's they share their own stories, because a lot of young people think that at this point I should be earning 100K, you know, I should be driving a car, I've just graduated, but that's what I want. And the mentors share their own stories because they had a journey. They started from somewhere, and eventually they got to where they are today.
Okay. Reality check, just coming back to you, Lola, a reality check, because now this is where things actually really hit you so hard, where, of course, as you've mentioned, you've graduated, you've done everything, but after graduation now you feel like, oh, I think I'm qualified, or maybe I'm overqualified. And then now practical, like that practical aspect comes in, and you feel like, wow, these are the same things I learned in campus. And you will go out there, you start acclimatizing with how the market is, and then sometimes, as you mentioned, the salary is not as what you expected. Maybe you wanted, in your dream it was 100K, but you start with around 25, 30. You feel like, I'm a graduate, I can't be earning 30. Such things are really proving to be difficult even to employers, because fresh graduates are coming into the interview rooms demanding so much money, and it's unfortunate. So, and they end up lacking these actual opportunities. So do you fill in such gaps for them, because now this is where mentorship also comes in, but still some discipline. How do you do it, just to make sure that indeed you tell them there's a better future in front,
Okay, so first of all, I think one of the most important things is to realign expectations, because the thing is, as you go through school, your expectations are built up. You're told if you have a degree, you're going to get a job. If you do this degree, you'll be earning this much money. And I think the other day we saw on the news a guy who had a first class and he didn't have a job.
Actuarial science.
Actuarial science, which is, you know, those are courses that a lot of parents push their kids to, because they think it's the best way to go, And it does make sense, but at the end of the day, there's the aspect of what are the expectations. So you see, there's this mismatch where people don't really understand what's an entry-level job, what does it look like, what will even my responsibilities be, because some people go in and they're like, I'm not supposed to be, you know, printing out photocopies, that's not my job. But you see, you have to start from somewhere. Sure. Even the current CEO of Saiton Investments, he started working in the filing department of Saiton, and that's where he started his career. So sorry, is it Saiton or Centum? Sorry.
Okay, one of them.
One of them. So the thing is, we all start from somewhere. So first you need to realign your expectations. Then secondly, you need to figure out, okay, so what are the skills needed out there and how can I get those skills? And that's why a program like Jijali is so important, because it helps you to find out, what do I have, what's needed, how can I fill this gap? Okay. And then finally, it's about getting the information from people who've been there. So people who started out, people who can tell you, listen, in my company, this is what an entry-level job looks like, and this is what you'll be earning. However, if you work hard, you put in the effort, in the next 2 years, this is how you can progress. So they need to understand, okay, so here's where you'll start, but if you put in the work, the effort, if you're proactive, if you're a good employee, you can progress. So you have to start from somewhere, but you need to put in the work, and it's consistently about putting in work.
That's true. Now, Christine, you know, you're dealing with these young people, but there's some sort of a value that you need to consider. You know, value is very important. As much as they have this positivity, but value is very important. Have you ever had a challenge just dealing with these people? You know, yes, you're starting your career, you're complaining too much, whining a lot of time. Maybe what's the challenge? Do you have challenges maybe? Because dealing with the young people, we are young people, and it's not easy. We are like puppies. We are all over. We're all over, by the way. So there's that challenge of just trying to settle this person's mind down. Like, hey, relax. There's a future out here. Chill. Pole pole. Yeah.
Well, the main challenge is getting them to complete the course. So you see, in most cases, if you apply for any online course, you do a few basic things and you feel like, you lose interest real quick.
Fast assessment, actually.
And that's why, like, for this program, it's very important that people know that we don't have like that barrier for you to go on to the next maybe topic. So, and then the most important thing, you can choose the topics that you want to deal with. So you can choose today, I want to cover CV writing. You can go through that, because that's the problem, maybe the issue you have. You can choose today, maybe I want to cover interview preparation. So you don't have that barrier that makes you, I don't want to continue with this course because they keep making me not go to the next step.
Okay. You've mentioned mentors, and I still want to talk about the mentors. You know, money factor. Trust me, everyone in school right now wants to make money at some point in their lives. That's why in so many organizations we have a graded jobs category, grade G, grade B, you're now a grade whatever stuff. But people don't understand the HR criteria, whereby now, after this year, this is what happens, depending on the organization you're working in. But look at our fresh graduates who are coming out from school. The same conversation I had with Mengo right here in studio. Continuation of it. These people, they go out there with a lot of expectation, and they end up being disappointed because now, we've mentioned 100K, 30K, but there's an aspect of understanding an organization. Do you prepare them to understand that this organization does this, X does this, government does this, private does this? There's so many things actually going on. Like your medical, you know, sort of those things, the benefits, all those things, you need to know them. Do you maybe get them conversant about this thing?
So the way the career module is structured, the first month is more about you figuring out what kind of opportunities are out there, because there are jobs that are coming up now that did not exist a while back. Something like, for example, digital marketing, or something like, let's say, animation is really coming up nowadays. So it's more about, okay, what opportunities are out there, and if you're interested in that, how can you start working towards that? And then the second partner is about packaging yourself. So how do I do my CV? How do I do interviews? How do I do personal branding? Actually, what he spoke about is exactly what we cover. And then finally, in the last month, it's more about, okay, so now you've got, let's assume you've gotten the opportunity. So how do you make the best of this opportunity? What do you need to do to make sure that you progress as you go along? We also cover something called business etiquette, where we talk about some of the things you need to have in mind when you start your job. So for example, you need to go through the, let's say, the employee handbook, so that you understand what are the do's and don'ts of this company. What's the criteria for, let's say, promotion? Because in a company, that should be covered in the employee handbook. So it's already set out. Or if it's not clear, you can approach your manager and speak to them about it. So it's more about enabling them to take a more proactive approach to their career. So not just like kind of sitting back and waiting for the promotions to come or the success to come. It's more like you have to work towards it. You know, how do you work towards getting a promotion? How do you work towards creating a good impression at work? Because you need to do that for you to progress in your career. Yes.
Okay. Wow. Perfect. Now, still on these young people, you know, that's where now our focus is today. We've talked about values, morals, all those things, but now look at our institutions. Same question again I asked Mr. Mengo here. Yes, when you look at your transcript, you look at everything, no personal branding, no like market preparedness, nothing. Like you just have, like if it's BCom, it's all about finance, about whatever, there's nothing. So do you think we need to inculcate this attitude of preparing people for what they're going to do? The CBC, new competency-based curriculum, is coming in and it's taking actually center stage. And this is where your kid at 15, he will know that they want to be pianists or maybe guitarists. They want to be musicians. But now our 844 system was kind of very wrong. I think it's wrong because you out there, you're just studying for exams. But do you change their mind that indeed you can be what you haven't studied for? Kristen.
Let me see. You see, in the program mostly encourages people to be more proactive in terms of self-learning. So you don't need to be pushed to learn. And with the 844, you had to like you have to do this. Cram a lot of stuff. And at the end of the day, that's the mentality we all have. So you see, and then this brings me back or takes me back to the mentorship. He will or she will, the mentor, will mostly not push you to like cram, or where you find most cases someone copying someone else's.
That's the name.
So you see, you have, with the guidance of the mentor, you're able to push yourself to learn more and to be proactive in self-learning, so that you, because you see, at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to benefit from this. You're the one who's going to make your CV look or stand out the way the job market is. And I believe we need to stop that mentality of 844 and be more of people who are willing to self-learn more, to maybe improve on what they have on top of their degree or their
Okay. For example, Nick has studied mechanical engineering and Nick has been offered a job at a secretarial firm. Wow. Will you take it? Will Nick take it? How are you advising these people? Because we also feel like guys have some sort of ego. I was in campus for maybe 6 years. I feel like I cannot handle this job. Someone who had a diploma did for 2 years or 3 years. And I feel like I'm kind of senior, but you have no experience. At that point where you're flexing your muscles, but there's nothing. So do you advise people maybe, okay, as much as you studied this X, you can still do this?
Yes, for sure. You know, we live in an age where degrees no longer confine you to a specific area. In fact, in the company where we work, we train young people, and we have people who have degrees in biochemistry, we have lawyers, we have economy is such a wide range. Yeah. So that's what I was saying earlier. It's more about the skills that you have. What can you actually do? And that's what will put you forward. So for example, maybe you've done civil engineering, but now you want to go into digital marketing. So what I would advise you is, first of all, you need to figure out what exactly is digital marketing and what area you want to go in. So let's say you settle on, I want to do social media marketing. We live in a fantastic time where there's so much information out there, which means you can do thousands of courses online on social media marketing. But the courses are not enough, because people think if I do this course, I can get a job. That's not enough. So after you learn, you need to apply. So for example, you can approach your friend. Maybe your friend has a business, and ask them, can I do your social media for you so that I can build up my CV and show that I can actually do this? So maybe you work on that for, let's say, 6 months. And after that, now you can start applying for jobs. So it's definitely possible. But what we'd emphasize is that you need to put into practice what you've learned. Go out, self-learn, and then practice.
All right. So we're taking a short break. When we come back, now we talk about, we'll take you back a little bit, because now we want to talk about Form 4s. You know, you've done so much on campus, careers, but now at that stage of being a candidate, you're facing your KCSE soon. There must be that aspect where you're confused which course you want to do, because I believe it starts earlier. So that's what you want to focus on when you come back right here on Morning Live. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to Morning Live. Jijali, the initiative. Okay, she said it's Jijali, not the Jijali initiative, but still they're here in me in studio. Kristen Mudhoni and Lona Kanyuga, she's the project manager, talking about how they prepare these young people to face the market, but still want to take it back to high school, whereby at Form 4, you're so much confused. You're asked to choose which campus you want to go to. During our days, it was Joint Admission Board. It changed. Right now, it's a placement board, but still that's where the ball game starts, because I believe as much as you want to secure a career at Form 4, that's where now you need to be sure that this is my lineage. I want to do this course, and by that you'll be very passionate. You'll now kind of have the drive, because right now we're being forced to school, but we don't know how the job market is. Now I'll start with you, Christine. Looking at this Form 4 situation, whereby as a candidate you are told study, pass the exam, and get the A's, but you don't know why you're getting the A's. You know, it's bad, because I want to get the A's, but for what? I just want to pass, for what? That's when, after maybe the results, now you're being given so many opportunities, or maybe opinions by your relatives, or go do this course X. Then you're confused, and then you're forced to do some funny course that you're not even interested in. What do you think about that?
So I think, could I maybe just use my personal experience?
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah, so like my dad was so always like insisting that you need to take up a course in medicine.
Medicine, wow.
I felt like that was just some big shoes to fill in, knowing that there was no doctor in the family, guys. Why lie? So you see, I'm here trying to cram, as always. And you see, I always felt like I belonged in this field of marketing. And when I was done with high school, I went on and did a diploma in programming. And he was just, this is not what.
What is this now?
So you see, much later, I started working, and I'm working as a sales account manager.
Wow.
But there's that thing that told me, no, you need to still do digital marketing. So you see, my mom was always like, if you feel this is not what you want, then go ahead and...
But your dad was of a different opinion?
Yes. So that as always, it brings you that issue. Friction in the meaning.
Sure. Yes, proceed.
So you see, in most cases, you just follow your heart, but at the end of the day, you still have to listen to your parents and just pursue what they want you to do. If you feel like you need to do something different from what you've done, then you can do like evening courses.
Yeah. It used to scare us. Asisikia mkuu uvunjika guu. That thing was so scary, trust me, growing up. Ooh, like we used to take it literally. Wow. If you don't listen to my dad, my left. Like, anyway. So, looking at her story, it's a good story because now she's actually doing something totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different, by the way. But going back to her parents, let's not even leave from 4 issues and cramming and everything. Our parents, trust me, I also have my story. Yeah. So, I know they're kind of old school. Yeah, they've been in these careers that were maybe government based, whereby 8 to 5 they're at home. Things are changing right now. The digital space has really opened up in the world, and things are changing. Glad they're noticing that right now. But for Jijali, you're dealing with people who are kind of digital, and things are changing also. But remember, they have parents back home who are also very keen on knowing what they've been doing the whole day. They have an opinion.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes clash with the parents' opinion?
Yes, definitely. And I think it's just because there's a difference in terms of the careers as they were before and how they are now. And even I would say even for us it's really confusing because every year there's something new coming up. There are new careers coming up, new industries. Right now data is one of the fastest growing industries right now. So you see in the next 5 years it'll be something different and so on and so forth. So it can be really confusing to navigate there. I would say for the parents, it would be really great if they have an open mind and try to understand more. Because, for example, if someone says, I want to do animation, for example. So for some, they'd think you want to go and play with cartoons. But then if they understand, actually, like animation covers so many areas, like people who work in marketing agencies, they hire a lot of animators to do their ads. It's also one of a really fast growing industry as well. So I think also for young people, it's kind of upon us to try and explain to our parents why this field is so important for us and why we think we can do well. As I mentioned earlier, I used to work as a freelancer and I used to work from home and my parents did not understand it. But looking back...
Like, how are you working from home?
Yes, exactly. And at first they were really confused. It didn't make sense, but the more I explained it to them and the more they understood, they became more open-minded to it. In fact, even sometimes my dad tells me about freelance jobs he sees and he's like, oh, Lana, you should consider this, you know. So it took time, but they got there. So I think that's what we need to do as young people, kind of help our parents to understand why we're taking this path and what it has for us in the future. Talk to them, don't shut them out, because the moment you shut them out, that's when now the friction even increases more.
It's true that. A story after high school, a friend of mine told the parents that he wants to go to Shangtao. Now, the parents thought he wants to go to China. And Shangtao is school of animation in Kenya. So they kept quiet. So they're wondering, our kid wants to go to China. He started from 4. What's happening? You know, he didn't expound more on what Shangtao is. But now when they found out it's a school in Kenya that specializes on animation. But now they're so furious. Why? Something you said, why are you going to study about cartoons? I thought we left this thing. You had a B+ for cartoons. For God's sake. You are university material. Now, a Bachelor of Science and Electrical Chemistry out. He left it, went for animation. Right now, he's one of the best, actually, this guy's animators in the world. And trust me, when I say in the world, he's not even in Kenya. He's only in the UK doing his thing. Now, all right, Lion King, one of the developers, actually. I'm very proud to say. A Kenyan.
Great job.
Big time. Still, look at this story. Our parents have this ego to kind of flex their muscles to their friends that, hey, my son is an actual scientist, my daughter is a mechanical engineer. But those days are gone. Right now, they're trying to kind of also fit into where we want to squeeze ourselves into. Do you think we, one day as parents, we will support our own? Because, yes, as our parents, the time is over. Let's talk about us. Because now we are the future. And maybe the children will give birth too soon, or maybe later. They'll kind of now look at it and say, okay, my mom, my dad supported me. Do you think that will come soon?
Well, as a parent, I still see the need for them to bring home good grades.
As a parent, wow, congrats, yeah, sure.
Oh, thank you. So I still see the need for them to bring good grades at home.
Okay.
But you see, like my eldest, she has a thing for modeling.
Wow.
In terms of fashion and all that.
Okay.
And I would break her heart if I told her don't pursue that.
Yes.
So I'll just tell her, you need to focus on your education, but you can do this on your free time.
Yeah.
And she understands that because she's big.
Amazing.
And my smallest now, my last one, she's very young, but she has a thing for music, and she sings along to all this.
Wow. The lyrics and everything.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
So you see, if she grows up, I want to nurture that talent, and it's very important for parents to know, nurture that talent. It might turn up to be their source of income.
It's true.
So nurture the talent, but still let them bring home good grades. So
during the days, ukiambia mzazi, I want to be a musician, my friend.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it can be something else.
Yeah.
Finally, entrepreneurship. You know, that's another thing that we need to touch on. You know, business sometimes, business culture is very difficult, and in Kenya especially, a startup. You know, the culture of just being patient and just kind of just growing with your SME, like this enterprise that is trying to maybe to struggle, picking up, inconsistencies. Do you prepare these guys also for this?
Yes. So we also have an entrepreneurship module, and this one is targeted to people who you have a business idea and you have no idea where to start. So it's a good idea to go through our program.
Sure.
Or you have a business and things are not quite working out. There are some things you're not really clear, like how come I'm not making enough money, or how come I have no idea where my money goes every month, you know, things like that. So what we do in our business module is we train you, number one, how to get a good business idea. So how do you refine it? Because having an idea is one thing, but then refining it into something that will work, something that has a market, is a whole other thing. And then after that, we train you on management. So how do you manage, how do you do your marketing, how do you do your sales, how do you manage your finances, which is actually a key issue. A lot of young people are not really clear on how do I put my finances together, what kind of records do I need to have, you know, even in terms of taxes, what taxes do I need to pay as a company, because right now, it's not right now, but in general, it's really important to always pay your taxes as a company. And then also, how do I plan for my business? So I have this business, but I need to make sure in 5 years it's at this level. In 10 years it's at this level. In 15 years I sell it and I retire. So you need to have a good plan on how that's going to happen, because it's not going to happen on its own. You need to be deliberate in what you do. You need to be really strategic, and you need to look at every single area of your business. So if you have a business and you're not really clear on what's going on or what's wrong, then it's a good idea to go through our program. And on top of that, you'll again have a mentor who is experienced in business, so they can guide you and give you some really good advice on what you can do.
Wow. So finally, a young person who's watching right now and wants to be part of Jijali, and maybe social media contacts, maybe you can give us too, maybe you can take us later.
So could you start maybe probably how they can
sure. That's
they
the thing,
can anyone who wants to maybe apply for the program, you can just go to our website, www.usudi.co//jijali. You can reach us on our Facebook page, that's Usudi. Our Instagram page is Usudi_Africa.
It's Usudi with a Y?
YUSUDI.
YUSUDI. Slash what?
So I feel like if you get confused, just Google Jijali.
Jijali.
That's the first thing that will come up.
That's easier.
That's the first link that will come up.
Sure. Thank you so much, Lorna.
Thank you for having us.
For coming,
Thank
Kristen, for coming, and I really appreciate your powerful sentiments. And I always like finishing, because now when you talk about careers, you know very well, you've heard of Madilu system, the let, if you're a Roomba lover. The same story I'll say again to the parents out there. This guy was told to go the medicine way. He did. Actually, he did when the dad was alive. After, I think, dad passed on, he left medicine midway, actually, through the course. Now he went to be a musician. And he was one of the most successful Rumba musicians in the world. So I believe still, I'll insist, you do what you want. Do what you like, because at the end of the day, it's passion. Don't wake up in the morning and feel like, do I still really need this job? Yeah, be passionate. Just drive yourself. My name is Nick Mudimba, taking a short break. When we come back, a recording we had earlier right here on Morning Live. Stay tuned to Switch TV.